as the 2026 Pro Football Hall of Fame class was inducted over the weekend. One of them happened to be Carolina Panthers legend Luke Kuechly. For those of you who missed the speech and just had other things going on, you don't have to miss it anymore, because here's Luke.
Thank you, Dad. You're over there, and the tears coming out of your eyes, and now I don't have to cry because you've already done it. So, thank you everybody for being here, and thank you to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the selection committee, and everybody who has made this day possible. Jim, Jeff, and the whole crew here at the Hall of Fame, you have not only created an unbelievable weekend, but an exciting journey from the time we were all together in February in San Francisco until now. This class of 2026 is special, and I'm so excited to enter with you guys. Drew, you're the best player that I've ever played against. Your process, anticipation, that dang cadence that you have, I can still hear it, and it's something that I'll keep with me forever. And Coach Payton's right next to him, and if I ever hear that song, Stand Up and Get Crunk, it ruins my mood. I can't stand it. Larry, we've had so many battles. I respect the consistency that you've had throughout your career. You played outside, inside, could block, and caught everything. Adam, you've had 2 Hall of Fame careers with 2 teams, and like the rest of these guys, you've had the gift of consistency, durability, and apparently quite a bit of humor. And Roger, the first guy to eclipse 1,000 in the air and 1,000 on the ground. Your son Roderick's been right next to you since the moment I met you. Your family's infectious joy and happiness is what football is about, and it's been so fun to see the last couple months. To the 382 guys here that entered before us, you guys were the standard. Our games were modeled off what we saw from you guys. And Pep, there was no cooler moment than being with all of you guys last night at the Gold Jacket dinner. This game teaches you a lot if you're willing to listen and willing to observe. It's taught me resilience, consistency, toughness, the value of communication, how to find common ground, and most importantly, it taught me to enjoy it along the way. Because oftentimes the best moments you are in are the ones you currently are. Ron Rivera used to beat that into our head and say, be where your feet are. Well, he didn't mean just be where your feet are when you're at the Super Bowl playing with and against incredible players. He meant be where feet are all the time, and that's been great advice. The joy football gave me didn't come from any particular win. It came from competing, from studying, from practicing, and from preparing. And joy came, most importantly, from the people that I was with. I think about the bus rides, the plane flights, being at Wofford College with each other during training camp. You've never seen guys so happy to have a night off at Venus Pie eating pizza. I know Greg Olson's down there nodding his head. The relationships formed through football are unique. You see each other at your best, and you see each other at your worst. You spend long days together in meeting rooms. You learn how different people communicate, lead, and overcome challenges. And over time, teammates become friends, and friends become family. That's why when people ask me what I miss most about football, it's not one specific game or one specific play. It's the locker room, which I feel like I have again with you guys up here. It's the conversations that have nothing to do with sports. It's celebrating together after wins and hurting together after losses. There's no way to measure what the game of football has given to me, the joy it's provided, and more than anything, the people that I've been so blessed to be around as a result of this game. I was lucky to have started playing football right down the street in Cincinnati with the Golden Bears as a 4th grader. And then on to St. Xavier High School in Cincinnati, Ohio with Coach Steve Specht. The St. Xavier Bombers football team is right over here, and I'm so happy they're here today. And then off to Boston College, where I met some of the best friends anyone could ask for. And then finally, when the Richardson family gave me an opportunity to come to the NFC South and join the Carolina Panthers. Being part of the Panthers organization was a special experience. From the front office to PR, Drum, Charlie Dayton, and Ryan Anderson. Thanks for always having my best interests in mind and taking care of us. To the cafeteria and security guys, everybody was always pulling in the same direction. It was an amazing group of people, and some of our relationships have transcended the game. When David Tepper took over, he kept the team's energy and focus going strong. He and Nicole have remained so welcoming to me since I finished playing, and have given me so many opportunities to remain involved with the team, and that has meant so much to me. Thank you, guys. They deeply care, and we are so close, and I know that, like me, you guys are super excited for the season. Back when I arrived in Charlotte, I didn't have to look hard for how things were done. Marty Herney, our GM, and Ron Rivera, our head coach, created a team that valued the person, hard work, being a good teammate, and most importantly, like I mentioned, enjoying the game of football. Hall of Famer Sam Mills set the tone for what the linebacking room was supposed to look like. When I arrived in Carolina, that standard was held by John Beeson and Thomas Davis and was learned from our GM, currently Dan Morgan, sitting right in front here. I couldn't have asked for a better person to start my playing career than next to Thomas. He taught me about effort, toughness, competitiveness, and most of all, having joy in the game of football. That joy can never be taken away, and it helps you find a path forward when this game challenges you. Like I have mentioned, I arrived in Charlotte as a kid and needed guidance outside the walls of football, and Steve Luquire provided that to me. You've been there as someone I can talk to in the most important times of my career. Steve, thank you for helping me and continuing to help me navigate Charlotte. You're always there, and thank you. Another person I learned so much from was our defensive coordinator, Sean McDermott. Some coaches say, this is how we do things, and if you don't want to do it this way, you're wrong. But McDermott, alongside our position coaches, Al Holcomb, Steve Russ, Warren Beelan, and Bill McGovern at Boston College, they created a playground, and inside that space, you could play the game that worked best for you, but most importantly, still worked best for the team. That creativity remained when Steve Wilkes and Eric Washington took over as defensive coordinators. You guys let me be me, and that's something that I'll always appreciate. Another creative person was Ryan Vermeulen, our trainer, and his whole crew. A good trainer is more than a trainer. They talk you off a ledge. They're honest with you. They take care of you. They put you back together. They understand you. RV, I always felt like you knew what motivated me. You could see it on my face when something bothered me, and that's why you did such a great job. While we're talking about training, I want to thank the guys in our weight room, in our equipment room, House, Nabes, and Jason. Your room was one of my favorite places to be in the building. The energy was unbelievable and yet a huge part of my career. Donnie, Greg, Danny, and Jackie, our guys in the equipment room, you were consistent, super proud of your work, and not afraid of a little humor, and we needed that. Off the field, I've been blessed with wonderful colleagues. I first met Howard Skull in Bradenton, Florida when I was 20 years old and training for the Combine. Howard and I started as colleagues, and over time, our business relationship has become one of my best friendships. I know his family, he knows mine. We've been all over the place. We've been all over the U.S. together. We've had great dinners and great times, and I've created a lasting friendship. Thanks, Howard. To my agent, Tom Condon, he's been another blessing. Tom, when I called you to tell you I was retiring, I remember exactly where I was. I was standing in the B terminal at DFW, and you never asked why. You just said, Luke, I'll always be here for you. Is there anything I can do to help? That call showed how important your players are to you. I've always appreciated that, and thank you. I probably have the best college buddies in the world. They're sitting right over here. There's a group of about, you can hear them back there. There's a group of about 8 of us that have a very special bond. You guys are a safe place for me. You're always there and never ask for anything in return. I'm so lucky to have you guys, and I'm so lucky that you guys are all here today. Now, like I mentioned before, I didn't have to look far to find out how things were done when I came to Carolina. One of those reasons was Greg and Kara Olsen. I was just 21 years old, looking for what it looked like, and you two were so generous in so many ways. Christmas, family vacations, you always included me, and I learned so much from your guys' relationship. But Greg, let's be honest, The season was great, but how great were the off seasons? We had so much fun, and it was one of the best times of my career. Training with you was beyond special. Thank you. I'm also grateful for JJ and Laura Jansen. You guys are just a couple years older than I am, but you both have plenty of wisdom. You're amazing sounding boards, honest, patient. What I told you stayed with you, and you always let me make my own decisions. It always helped me to talk through things with you guys. Ryan and Natalie Cleo, much like the Olsons, you gave me a home when I came to Carolina. I had a safe place to go. Family dinners, movies, and the ability to be around the kids and your family was so important to me. Hannah, thank you for being by my side throughout this entire process. I'm so happy that you have been here and able to enjoy it with me. Your love and support means the world to me. Thank you. Now to my first team, my family. My mom's getting ready to start crying down there. She's got her sunglasses on. I have two wonderful brothers. They're sitting right up here, John and Henry. John's my older brother. He was my first teammate. We played on the same teams growing up. We took our first car rides together, went hunting, fishing, had plenty of adventures in the woods behind our house. John, you've always had the biggest heart, and you may not be the loudest person in the room, but I've always felt your support. It means the world that you're here today. To my younger brother, Henry, we are 7 years apart, but I look to you for motivation. Your drive, your determination, and will to find the way to be the best is so fun to watch. You're consistent in what you do, and it's so cool to see. I've seen it through schooling and now in the medical residency. Your ability to wake up, be the same person, treat everyone well, and do your job the best you can has made me so proud. More than anything, your honesty. You know how to offer your opinion without being pushy. You speak your mind and give great feedback. That's so valuable. And lastly, to my mom and dad, thank you. There are not enough words. Thank you for every ride to every practice, every sacrifice, every lesson, every meal. Mom, for every lunch packed, annoyed phone call on the way home from games, and from Sunday night football evenings on the couch. Dad, I think Larry mentioned this, or somebody already mentioned it, for the most thoughtful, well thought out answers. You gave me what I needed, not always what I wanted, and that's so important. Thank you for showing John, Henry, and me what love and consistency looks like. Thank you for creating a home where effort, humility, and gratitude mattered. Thank you for teaching me that a simple smile goes a long way. You never pushed me to be a good football player. You pushed me to be a good person, and that gift means more than anything. I love you guys. I'm going to close with something that Jerry Richardson used to say. He must have told us 1,000 times. The most valuable member of the team is the fan. Well, the fans in Charlotte and throughout the Carolinas sure proved that Mr. Richardson was right. You welcomed us. More importantly, you welcomed me to the community. And every game, every play at Bank of America Stadium felt like being home because of you guys. Some of you are here in Canton, and that means the world to me. I've been incredibly fortunate to have been touched by the game of football. Football has given me so much more than I could have ever imagined. The people I met, the experiences we've shared, and the joy that I found throughout this game. It will stay with me for the rest of my life. Your love and support have meant more than you'll ever know. Thank you to everyone who's been part of this journey. Thank you for sharing today with me, and most importantly, keep pounding.
And now Luke Kuechly can focus on his broadcasting career following his Hall of Fame football career.
I'm Max Goren with 3 things you need to know right now from 99.9 The Fan. Legendary Carolina Panthers linebacker Luke Kuechly was officially inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame on Saturday, marking the return of football season. For all the latest updates as the preseason gets fully underway, tune into this season's first episode of Panther Talk tonight at 6 o'clock right here on 99.9 The Fan. The Wyndham Championship wrapped up at the Sedgefield Country Club in Greensboro yesterday, and Wake Forest alum Michael Brennan took home the win with a score of 22 under par. The FedEx Cup playoffs begin on Thursday in Memphis with the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Johnston County is home to your Little League Softball World Series champions. The 12U girls from Clayton, North Carolina pitched 2 shutouts over the weekend against Florida and Kentucky to win the title on home turf in Greenville, marking the 4th championship for North Carolina in the last 11 years. For all the latest news on your favorite teams, download the 99.9 The Fan app or visit 999thefan.com.
Handful of news and notes to pass along to you. The Carolina Panthers did make a move this morning. Hopefully he didn't rent out his temporary housing or his apartment. Joshua Gray, who was waived earlier this summer, is now back on the team. He plays on the offensive line. He started with the Falcons a year ago, was on their practice squad. Carolina picked him up earlier this year. He was let go a couple weeks ago. He was waived to clear up a spot for an offensive tackle, who has since been waived, so Gray is back. He is back. Also over the weekend, Kyle Trask signed by the Panthers, former Florida quarterback, played a handful of years in the league after being a second-round draft choice in 2021. He will take some snaps, as Haynes King will miss time with injury due to a hammy thing. Bryce Young will play on Saturday in a handful of minutes, handful of snaps. We'll still see Kenny Pickett and apparently Kyle Trask as well. There is a report out there that the former number 1 pick in the NBA draft in 2016 is trying to make a comeback to the NBA. Ben Simmons apparently is coming back. He's working out in Australia right now and going to mini camps down there. Was an all-star at the start of his career and then, really just dealt with injury after injury after injury after injury after injury. Kind of went through the Brandon Roy, if you remember Brandon Roy, who played, was a University of Washington graduate, played for the Portland Trailblazers and Minnesota Timberwolves. The guy had no cartilage in his knees after 5 or 6 seasons in the NBA. Kind of that same kind of deal, but Simmons wants to come back, and apparently there are a number of NBA teams interested, and one source says he has an offer on the table to join a minicamp with a team in the Western Conference. So there you have it. Also tonight, by the way, to wrap things up here, the High School OT Jamboree 2.0 got stormed out on Saturday. Going to resume action tonight at First Horizon Stadium at WakeMed Soccer Park in Cary. If you had tickets for Saturday's event, they will be honored for tonight. If you do not have tickets, you can certainly still buy them at the gate. Action starts at 6 o'clock.